Hmm.
Have you dated outside of your race? And
Hmm.
if so, is there a difference between I
Good
gotta throw
question.
one like this in
Yeah,
there.
yeah, good question.
What's the difference between dating non-black women versus black women? Because your wife is, I believe, a
It's
black
black woman.
woman.
Hmm.
So, what has been your experience with interracial
Right,
dating?
right. Yeah, another quick question. Yeah, for me, I have in the past dated outside of my race, and um, I think for me, it was uncomfortable, to be honest. It was
Mm,
uncomfortable. I didn't see myself dating just another woman. It was uncomfortable for me, to be honest. And I would liken that space for just being uncomfortable to just knowing what my brothers and sisters, knowing what we as black people have gone through.
yeah.
And so for me, I don't touch that. I don't look at that. I don't mess with that. I don't desire that. That's not my. I'm happily married, but in the past, like I said, your question was dating. I have dated interracially, and in most cases, they didn't last very long. I felt hugely uncomfortable because I already had an image of myself. I had already had an image of good, bad, or indifferent, but I just had some thought about that, and I would just say I was looking for love too. I was looking for love, looking to be loved, and looking to share what I have learned over time with that person in my life. And at the time, it was when I was dating years ago. At the time, it was a white woman, and again, like I said, I just felt uncomfortable, and just the looks and the stares from my brothers and sisters, and I just felt like, man, Curtis, I missed it. I missed it, and
Interesting.
I deserved everything that came from those stares and those looks because, yeah, I felt that.
So
I'm
funny.
serious because I found myself standing for one thing and doing
Yeah.
just the opposite for love, for the sake of love, I believe. And
Interesting.
but for me now, yeah, I don't look at that, don't touch that, don't desire that, don't nothing.
So, would you say that even though I hear what you're saying,
Hmm.
dating a white woman made you feel uncomfortable,
Hmm.
how did she treat you? Would you say that she treated you in a certain type of way that made you feel any different
Hmm.
than when you date black women?
Yeah, I wouldn't say that she made me feel any kind of way or that was negative or that was positive, or I think it was more me. It was more about how I felt about myself, how seen myself, because or just yeah, it was more about me, and
Mhm.
uh yeah, how and perhaps even the conversations I've had when no one was looking, or just when I wasn't around anyone, those conversations that I had, or just having foresight of certain information that played into how I felt about something, or
Sure.
dating white women at the time. And again, and to each his own. I'm not saying that black men shouldn't date white women. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm speaking of my own journey, and
Yeah.
to each his own. It's just for me, just being armed with all the information that I have now about who I am as a black man. There's no way in HELL I would. So sorry, but
Yeah, no,
sorry,
I
but
love
not sorry, but
you're fine. Right. I ain't sorry. Yeah, for me, I have never had any interracial experiences, and
yeah, yeah.
I regret
Mm,
nothing.
mm,
you know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
it's
mm-hmm,
just like
mm-hmm.
you. I already know I'm gonna feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, 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 yeah.
but
And and
you
and,
know,
and if I could add this piece to Nika, is that I think for me, I would had a difficult time envisioning that woman getting angry with me and calling me out of my name.
oh,
And I didn't know how I would deal with that. And I think that was probably one of the hidden things I just never really
deep.
talked about. But because relationships aren't easy. It doesn't matter whether you're dating black, white. Relationships can be tough when you're trying to blend families together, or you know
Yeah.
uh, different thought. thoughts together, bring them to, so that we are, working or remaining on that train track. It can be difficult.
Mm.
So for me, that was the thing. Yeah, that was the thing because yeah, I would be difficult to swallow that, and
Interesting.
and continue seeing her in the right light, in a in the in a in the proper light of love.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
yeah, so
Well,
that's just
I
me.
appreciate you saying that because, like you said, relationships. I would when you just said that, it triggered. I in my mind, I
Mm,
saw a white man going like trying to check me and going off on me, and I'm like, oh no,
hmm.
like it's just funny how you don't even think about that, but you're
Right.
right because the reality is you are going to argue with that person, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's one thing to argue with someone who's a black man or a black woman.
Hmm.
There's a
Hmm.
familiarity there. There's cultural similar,
Right.
there's a lot there. So,
Right.
but then when you exchange the race, oh, now it gets a little bit more tense because now that adds another layer of like,
Hmm.
well, you said, yeah, I don't even know if I could deal with that because I'm like, I don't even know how to interpret what you just said.
Absolutely,
Like
sister.
I
Come
can
on
take that
now.
in
Come on
two
now.
different directions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and I funny how I haven't even really thought about that, but that's
Hmm.
interesting that you were already you had the foresight to kind of question like, can I even deal with the times that we clash?
Right. Right.
Because
Right. Right.
those times are going to be even probably more difficult than with a black
Absolutely.
woman
Absolutely.
because of the racial factor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think in any relationship, that, whether you're dating uh, different races or groups of people, uh, the motivation or the agenda, be it good, bad, or indifferent, over a period of time, it comes to the forefront. And
Yeah, comes to the
and
forefront. It does.
I just don't think a lot of I don't think a lot of people or counterparts of our counterparts, they're ready to have that conversation, you know,
Yeah, you are
and
so right.
so I think there's hidden things in their hearts, and not to
Mm,
say that it's not for us as Black people, but I think for us there's a lot of pain, and I think for a lot of them, our counterparts, there's a lot of pain as well,
sure.
because it's hard to it can be difficult, I would imagine, to um, walk in a palace, the doors of a palace,
Mm-hmm.
and look at the aftermath that you've done or that you played a part in.
Sure.
So that so quietly there's a lot of pain, and we think that they're not dealing with pain, but oh yeah, they're dealing with pain. Rest
And
assured, they're dealing with
no,
pain, because I
you are
know
so
that different places I've traveled to. I was used to be a flight attendant, and different places I've traveled to, some of these islands, and I enjoyed my stay at the islands, but at the same time, I didn't like the poverty. So even
mm,
for me, though I may have been there just for 24 hours, or it's sometimes 30 36 hours or something, uh, I enjoyed my time, enjoyed the people there, but it was hard for me to close my door and enjoy the amenities of even of the hotel, knowing that on the outside of that door was people who were needing soap.
wow. Absolutely.
So to say that they're not experiencing that, we that's a lie, because they are.
Abs 100%.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until you just brought it up that I even really thought about it.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I'll be honest, like I said, it's one thing to deal with pain that you're somewhat familiar with
Yeah.
from someone of your same race or
Hmm.
culture, but then yeah, that is
You
another
got
layer. Ooh,
absolutely,
I don't think I have it in me. I'm like, I don't even want to
absolutely.
know that pain. Like what?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Absolutely.
and even the cultural stuff because my dad is Nigerian, so
Hmm.
some of my dating life, I dated Niger like when well just met African men,
Hmm.
and even that, even another person who's black,
Yeah.
who's of another culture, adds a layer of nuance and challenge. So I can't even
Absolutely.
imagine even though
Absolutely.
people say love is love and
Hmm.
race doesn't matter, and some people feel like that, and that's fine.
Hmm.
But I I'm sorry, race matters to me. That's
Mhm,
just me.
mhm, mhm.
It matters to me.
Yeah, yeah, culture, race and culture
And
matters.
culture. Thank
Yeah,
you. More so
absolutely. Yeah,
culture. More so.
absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.